Hello, hello, my beloved waking gods and goddesses. Welcome to Love, Truth, and Beauty. Do it yourself spiritual awakening for divine in the flesh, where together we learn how to surf, hack, and navigate the ups and downs of the totality of human experience, creating a new earth beyond the limitations of this perception, managed reality matrix of five senses, having discovered our true divine creative natures in our true sensual sensorial universe of seven senses, composing formless into form outside of the matrix in the true quantum field creation field universe, all in alignment with the hermetic natural law principles. Before we get started, please do give this video a thumbs up. Please also hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, selecting the all setting so that when I upload videos, YouTube will let you know. I generally upload Tuesdays and Fridays, 11 a.m. Eastern. My name is Maria West, and I am your hostess of the highest, here to download, upload, inspire, and usher you into your bestest and brightest selves, your bestest and brightest light, and inviting you all to open your hearts wider and wider and wider still. Hello, darlings. Hello, my love bugs. Hello, my boobalas. Mwah. Welcome to Love, Truth, and Beauty. This is episode 327. And in today's video, we talk about contempt. The many ways. This is how a heart breaks, and how to keep your heart open amidst toxic relationship hell happening in real time. I will place the link to my heart meditation healing video for your tender hearts at the end of our presentation. The topic of contempt has been coming up, my loves, a lot lately in my consult groups, where I am actually facilitating supervision for trauma deactivators, energy healers, and life relationship coaches and mentors, as well as witnessing all the shit in my own personal sphere, in friendships, relationships. Oh, yes. It's horrifying, actually, to admit that I'm witnessing an increase in tremendous disrespect and taking others for granted in marriages, committed partnerships, friendships, business relationships. This is including relationships with our neighbors, also co-creators of content even. What the actual fuck, people? Are some of you devolving into an entitled bunch of NSPs, narcissists, sociopaths, psychopaths, at the expense of us tender-hearted folks trying to love you up, warts and all, with our warts and all? Okay? Now, communication, my loves, is key. It's totally key. But when you're with someone, in relationship with someone, endeavoring to have a relationship and a communication with someone who is pretty much clueless about their own reactivity and unprocessed PTSD from perhaps their childhood or other traumas, and are unable to step back to witness their own abusive behaviors and projections upon you, trouble is afoot. Okay, they're not doing the great work, or they're stuck in the unprocessing or the processing, however you want to look at it. Now, the once promised intimate relationship, partnership, friendship can go uber toxic very, very quickly, leaving you devastated and bewildered in its funky wake. Okay, how you and your partners, friendships communicate clearly indicates whether issues are being addressed, or perhaps the issues are even unknown, let alone unprocessed or beginning to process out and get unpacked. Now, when these issues are not addressed and are buried, contempt and disrespect in their communication is a form of abuse, babies, that allows these hidden issues to create a toxic environment at your expense. It's a form of weaponized woundology. In other words, although you are talking to each other, you are not actually discussing an important problem or issue that needs to be outed, and outed very, very, very gently. Okay? Now, yet, everything is energy, people. Now, these slings and arrows and, the stink eye that you get, the coldness and the put downs are typical ways that hidden toxic shit gets vented and dumped onto another person, where one person is using criticism and disrespect, my loves, as a form of abuse that lowers the other person's self-esteem, immunity, and resilience, and the desire to even keep going and keep trying. Now, these are very, very toxic behaviors. They are making their partner feel worthless by disrespecting them. They'll use nasty comments to degrade and shatter their confidence. This is not good in an effort to sort of buoy or boost their own esteem. It's a superiority game. Now, that might sound pretty melodramatic and over the top to those of you who have never experienced contempt in relationships, but I assure you, and let me tell you from my own personal experience, it is far from dramatic and it is very real. Each word said in anger or disgust or in judgment by someone who is meant to love you is like a knife plunged into your heart or your back and heart at the same time. I think contempt is one of the most damaging relationship killers, only second to physical, sexual violence and assault. The problem is that the wounds of contempt can live with you for many, many years afterward. But before I go on, you might wonder if you are a victim of contempt in a relationship, or maybe you are catching yourself causing pain to your partner's significant other and starting to become aware of your own impact upon them as a result of you now becoming more conscious about your behavior, where you have clearly displayed contempt toward your partner in the past, maybe as recently as this morning, and want to help yourself to stop it. Okay. You might be also confused about where typical everyday arguments or disagreements between couples and friends and contemptuous behavior begins. Okay, now after all, the majority of couples and friendships, business partnerships, creative partners, we all have agreements, right? Okay, so when does it all of a sudden get very toxic? And why suddenly is everything a fucking issue? Now, I often hear that communication shit shows begin from within the first 2 years, give or take, and then escalate into fever pitch yuck that makes or breaks a relationship. Okay, now let's just talk about committed relationships for now. And so I'm just going to be generalizing, and this is all from notes that I have taken. Nobody's confidentiality has been upset or thwarted or disrespected, just saying. But it's come up enough where I feel like, it's my moral obligation actually to bring this up. Okay, now, when we're in relationship, partnership, we are getting to know each other better and better. We're going deeper and we're starting to really understand one another and each other's sensitivities and triggers. Take a tremendous amount of love and energy to partake in and are especially worthwhile in working through. Okay, you want to get more intimate and deeper, we're going to have to work through all this stuff. And we also have to acknowledge that we speak different languages. Some people are more mental bound. Some people are more emotional. Some people are more physical. Some people are more sort of intuitive, energetic. Okay, so we speak these different languages and we have various traumas and communication styles. Now, learning to lovingly communicate and negotiate a relationship without compromising one's humanity and dignity, these are tall orders, my friends, in any relationship that struggles to create a common language and loving strategies to move through with flow, grace, and empathy, to move through difficult, tricky, touchy, triggering, sensitive, heartbreaking issues. Okay? But heart-based relationships are all worthwhile in our efforts and our navigating each other's emotional pain so that we, as significant others, can evolve and grow whilst staying open in our kind and loving hearts, which is what a healthy heart-based conscious relationship is all about. Okay, this is a learning curve, my loves. When you can listen to your partner's point of view, understand it, and adjust your behavior without getting pissy and upset, this is a two-way street. It takes two, all right? Acting in contempt is the complete polar opposite. Contempt is always triggered and fueled by underlying negative thoughts and feelings that seem to be about your partner. But these are often based upon old traumas from a previous time in your life. Now, remember, my loves, that our templates for relationships between men and women are dictated by our tribal experiences, okay? Our family of origin experiences of witnessing mom and dad's relationship. So be honest, okay? How did your parents fare in their communication storms and conflicts and difficulties? Suppose those negative thoughts and feelings and experiences you witnessed firsthand through your mom and dad are not addressed. In that case, they can turn into automated mind controls and scripted automatic behaviors unbeknown to you. And that simmering rage and anger toward your partner is misplaced. Okay? These repressed feelings have to surface and vent eventually, manifesting often in signs of contempt. Now, here's a list of examples of contempt as per what I said. My notes from sessions with clients, with students, my own shit. Bear in mind, no one's identity has been compromised. Okay. Your experiences and realities are categorically dismissed. Often this looks like being told after you've shared your vulnerability with your partner or family member or friend that you're too sensitive, you're too defensive, or you're overreacting. Your reality is denied. You're constantly being gaslighted with comments like, that's not true. You're imagining things. I never said that. That never happened. Now you're making up stories about me. Your partner constantly puts you down. You can't get it right, no matter what you do, how hard you tried. From cleaning to how you're cooking a meal, to how you're getting dressed, to your ability to manage your time. The caveat is that they are often wanting to help you, okay? But what is really going on is that they want you to know, under no uncertain terms, how they feel about you and what you're missing, and it's your fault, okay? Now, my loves, this kind of shit, this behavior is a far cry from constructive criticism, so don't fall for it and give it a pass. This behavior is vindictive, it's hurtful. You are interrupted constantly, or your sentences are completed, or you are reminded that they have heard your story, this story, 1,000,000 times before. Do you feel as if your opinion is worthless? Has it reached the stage where you dare not open your mouth for fear of reprisals or ridicule? This is a form of bullying, and it can happen in public or in private. It signifies several things to you. Number one, your opinion is not valued. Number two, you're not being listened to. Number three, and what you say doesn't fucking matter because they've heard it all before. Now, constant interrupting is degrading, it is dismissive, it is demeaning. My loves, do not give it a pass. To have an opinion, you have to be acknowledged as at least an equal. And your partner is using this fucking passive-aggressive bullshit tactic to show superiority over you. This can also be experienced that they leave a room or interject something when you're about to begin a conversation, something that is distracting, that has nothing to do with whatever is going on. Or they pull out their phones whenever you want to speak, or in the middle of you speaking, they're checking email, okay? You are mocked when you speak, either in front of people, behind your back, or to your face. Often, you're also the butt of a joke or spoken about to friends in a demeaning manner, labeled irrational or crazy or nonsensical. You are stonewalled whenever you bring up a sensitive topic to talk about with your significant other. They reply to you, "Now's not a good time. Let's not talk about it. That's your reality, not mine. Let's do this another time. Let's do this when you're feeling more settled, when you're acting more rational." Now, the opposite of interrupting you is ignoring you. The effects upon one soul and heart when your beloved defaults to punishing you by ignoring you, constantly putting you on hold, or giving you the silent treatment, the cold shoulder, icing you out, then telling you they're not doing anything to you. Now, indifference, my loves, is a powerful way to hurt someone. It's as powerful as a major dramatic confrontation. Because why? Because you're invisible. Your words fall on deaf ears, not because no one values your opinion, but because they haven't noticed your presence or refuse to give you that consideration. Yet they would automatically give that consideration to a stranger. I've seen that happen. It's happened to me. Your partner won't make eye contact with you or avoids eye contact. Your partner's sarcasm suddenly has a bitter, disrespectful, sharp edge that picks on very specific sensitivities that they are privy to. Your partner repeatedly compares his ex's ways to the way you do things, and you should take note and improve. Just like my ex is another variation. Yes, childish to say the least. Okay, I've had that thrown at me. "Oh, you're acting just like my crazy ex-wife." Okay, great, thanks for that. Your partner patronizes you. Your PTSD is at it again, honey. Does your partner always make excuses for you or belittle your traumatic experiences? Using condescension, I can't say this word, condescension, over time belittles a person, right? You know how this feels. How you speak to a person matters, especially to a loved one. Words can nurture and empower relationships, or they can absolutely devastate and destroy someone. A patronizing partner or spouse may appear to be acting helpfully. However, the underlying message is clear. You are incapable, you are incompetent, you are flawed, you are damaged beyond repair. What the fuck is wrong with you? You should listen to me. You feel anxious around them. Panic attacks can become more prevalent, as well as stomach aches, intestinal cramping, abdominal distress, insomnia, depression, and vomiting, nervousness. Yes. You are corrected or shushed when you speak about your feelings and experiences. Now, some people interrupt their partners unknowingly. Others ignore their partners, and others like to fix them. Then there are people that do all of the above, and it doesn't matter whether they are right or wrong. Their goal is to throw you off balance and make you doubt yourself. And as soon as you hesitate, they have the ideal environment and opportunity to start gaslighting you. Of course, there are ways of telling someone that they have made a mistake, but if you are corrected on a regular basis and it upsets you, it is a sign that all is not well. You are constantly criticized for leaving the lights on, the drawers partly open, dishes in the sink, dirty dishes in the sink, not putting away the toothpaste, using too much toilet paper, hanging the toilet paper incorrectly under, over, and having your household chores or cleanups redone the proper and correct way. Now, think about that. Are you a child or an adult? Now, we tend to redo things for our children to show them ways, not the stuff to do for your partner. It is pretty soul destroying to have completed a task, only to have your partner go over it again and show you with their preferred and better option because it is not good enough in their eyes. Okay? How does that make you feel? I know how it makes me feel. It makes me feel worthless, useless. You can't even do household chores correctly. Your partner has to do everything around here. I've heard that again and again and again from couples. What good are you? You are lucky I put up with you. That kind of stuff. If you are constantly told how to improve certain things because your way is incorrect, inefficient, and annoying, and so that's an example. Often these corrections come with a YouTube video or a wiki how-to so you can improve. And not to mention the receipts and the proof positives from, say, asking the Alexa and the Siri or the Wikipedia questions so you can be sure about how wrong you absolutely are. You are blamed and shamed for making them feel their emotions, and you are abusing them because they're starting to feel emotions. They threaten you with abandonment or go full on nihilistic and say they want to break up with you or they're going to leave you if you don't shape up because you could do better than you can do better. And if you don't, they can do better than you. They use language like you always, you never, you. They see their feedback as trying to improve you and be helpful. Their criticism and corrections are constant. You are given very few compliments. You end up feeling neglected emotionally and physically. Your partner generally withholds affection and is stingy with compliments and declarations of love and admiration. You are shown very little warmth and love except for when they want sex. This is what I hear all the time. Often the sex is rote, in the dark, from behind, no eye contact, if any, no sensuality, no closeness, no foreplay, no love play. You feel like you could be anybody in the dark with them. They lack empathy and compassion and are deaf, dumb, and blind to how their constant put-downs, coldness, criticisms, nitpickiness, and lack of emotional support and kindness are wearing you down and breaking your heart, such that you question your own sanity and you doubt yourself. You often feel sad and depressed and are often crying a lot. Now, my loves, the aboves are just examples of how a heart breaks at the mercy of a so-called beloved who can't fucking help themselves through their willful cruelty or willful ignorance, but be contemptuous toward you. It's not okay, my love. Staying in these toxic relationships will not be sustainable, as these abusive and coercive behaviors can be so subtle and utterly manipulative that they will break your spirit and they will break your resiliency down to nothing, okay? And it'll happen very slowly over time. I urge you to get help or get the fuck out. Now, I want you to stay super kind to yourselves and grounded in up-leveling your self-love and self-care. I want you to take time and sacred space for yourself if that's at all possible. Grounding is uber important. Utilizing more Mother Earth and Father Sky energies, water and fire for nurturance and warmth, way, way less technology. Now, in some form and fashion, we're all recovering from PTSD, from the ongoing horrors and disappointments and betrayals of dramas on the various world stages in the Matrix. These are what I call shock treatments that call each of us out, my loves, to check in with our hearts and get real. Get out of our comfort zones where we are often giving a pass to hell realms of bad habits and familiar dramas because we don't want to be alone, where we give bad, fucked up, shitty behavior and treatment from beloveds a pass. Okay? One of the things that I want you to consider doing in your own self-healing, especially if there's no one around to help, is to journal your self-love qualities. Come from that place of divine. Give yourself compliments. Buoy yourself up. Find a group of like-minded, like-hearted beloveds. Okay? Enough with this shit, my loves. I've got an important link to a blog called The Four Horsemen, material from Gottman.com in the show notes below. Very, very important. Check it out. The Four Horsemen is the recognizing of some really naughty things from the partner: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, stonewalling. Okay, my loves, that is my speech. I know this video is a little heavy and it's a little rough. I hope this is helpful. I want you all to be kind to yourselves, be kind to each other. We're all going through it. Decide that your layer of the universe is loving and friendly and has your back. Okay, please help me grow my channel by giving this video a thumbs up and leaving a comment in the comments box below or in private. I'm holding a lot of comments back. I've gotten inundated by porn bots lately, so yikes. Oy, Gewalt. Please share this video with your communities, friends, family members, and on social media platforms you feel would benefit from this content. Please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, selecting the all setting so that the YouTube will let you know when I upload next. And if you find value, enjoy, or benefit from my content and videos, or at least entertained by them, won't you please consider supporting my work through a donation? My PayPal link and my Coffee link, coffee.com link, are below. I thank you all so much for hanging out with me, with your participation and focused attention. I really do appreciate it. I love you all so much. I can't do this work without you, and I do this work especially for those of you who know that you are so much more than what the Matrix tries to define you to only be. So until next time, my dear hearts, always act from love, outside of the Matrix, from your center screen, composing a new reality. Let's quantum jump all our lifelines. That's right. Let's go higher and higher and higher and higher so that we can all be the love that we are. We can share our love. Yay! We can create, make art, make music, make love, and you can all help me repopulate the true quantum field creation field universe. Here's to love, truth, and beauty, my beautiful divine in the flesh. Mwah!